Well, we're here with another episode of Let's Talk About It.
Let's talk about it.
Transcending heights, empowering each other. Sister Sylvia here.
New Age Black King, aka Plaga Jr., aka my bro.
Yes, indeed. We're here to talk to y'all today about transforming. Sister Sylvia Hill, I'm going to let you take the lead on this one. What are some of your ideas about transforming and how we can transform as a collective community?
Okay, so transforming. We know transforming means to change in form, appearance, or structure. Revolutionize, remodel, reconstruct, renew, and alter. And so, transforming. One of the things that I really appreciate and admire is that every day we are truly transforming in some shape, form, or fashion. We learn throughout our experiences and interactions with others. As we are developing that closer relationship with the Lord, He begins to transform our mindsets, our attitudes. Sometimes the way how we used to handle a situation, we learn that there is a better way, His way to handle that. And so transforming, and I'm sure we can all attest to various factors in our lives where we have felt, where we have noticed that transforming is taking place. And then others, sometimes somebody else may notice something in you before you really notice it. Because if you're anything like me, and I'm sure some others can attest to this as well, sometimes we're our own worst critics. Even the small successes along the way, we can't realize them or recognize them because you know what? We want that greater prize. And so transforming, we're continuing to transform each day. New mindsets, new ways of doing things. Even when it comes to relating to our young people, we have to be able to talk to them in a way that they can really understand where we're coming from, where we're showing that we realize that they have struggles, but you know what? We've been through some things. We haven't always been where we are now, and we have to encourage our young people that, yeah, they face trouble, trials, tribulations, but transforming through the Lord and having a support system that's going to be there with you, keep it 100 with you, is so essential.
1,000. Wow. So, when you spoke on transforming, it kind of put me into you said like revolutionary, kind of put me into a rebirth state of mind. I feel like, man, we're in a moment of the dark ages, so we need a renaissance. We need renaissance men and women that have a rebirth, transformation type mindset that are going to step out the box and make certain changes within themselves that are going to spark change within the community. So like I said, let's be transformers. Let's reach deep down inside, and as the pastor said today in church, man, let's have a made up mind. Let's have a made up mind that we're going to make certain changes and do things differently around our community to see that transformation that we're looking for. Back, and our beautiful mother just came out today, and she just said, man, she was telling my daddy, man, we had both our babies in church today. That is beginning of a transformation. On your transformation journey, man, were you aware completely of the transforming as it was going on, and how do you become aware of that and consciously continue to make transformations in your life?
Well, I think for most of us, we can notice some areas of transforming, and then at times if we're just so focused on what we want or where we think we need to be. You and I have talked about this a good bit, that sometimes we feel like we're behind where we need to be. So there are certain times when I find myself getting really, really overwhelmed about something. The way how I used to kind of handle things, I would kind of shut down some or feel like the weight of this pressure is going to win. But I've learned now through the transforming process to breathe through things, like really take some deep breaths and breathe through things, pray and meditate. So yes, I have begun to be able to notice, maybe not at all times, because sometimes, like I say, we're so focused on what the problem is or what the tension is, and we take our focus off of him and recognizing that he truly is the source for everything we need. So part of my transforming is just recognize, what, he's in control. I surrender over to him. It's not for me to do things in my own way, because many times my own way can't even begin to match up to what he has in store. So transforming, like I say, it is a process, and every day I'm able to see in some area now that my mind is more clear. And I think that may be kind of where you're going to. Sometimes we're so clouded, like depression or anxiety. Maybe there's marital discord. Maybe on our job it may seem like the harder we're trying with things just are not working out in a certain manner. And so when we're focusing on all the negatives or all the things that we feel like are out of place, it's hard to recognize that transformation is taking place, because sometimes part of the transforming is just recognizing, what, this isn't for me. I know the Lord wouldn't have this for me. And so recognizing it too, being that big enough person sometimes to say, what, I keep trying to do this over and over again, or I'm wondering why I can't seem to get any kind of peace or anything. So then we start transforming our surroundings. Mm-hmm. We start removing ourselves from certain settings that tend to get us to sway back to old ways of doing things that were no longer serving an actual purpose to get us where he is trying to get us to.
With that, I also want people to realize too, man, that as within, so is on the outside. I'm not gonna say without, because but as within is without. So in the first it's the mind, and then the soul, and you have levels of manifestation, and you also have levels of consciousness, as I've spoken about so many times, where I lose. But in order to make a lot of positive transformations, it's best to be conscious each and every day. Conscious if you have a bad temper and you're trying to transform out of it, conscious to the triggers that are triggering you. And then when you start to get a temper, walk away if possible. Walk away. If you can drink some water, if you can take a deep breath, and then you'll slowly start seeing day by day how you're transforming and how you are overcoming and how you are doing better in certain particular situations.
And I appreciate how you broke all of that down, brought that all to light. And so I was sitting here and I was thinking about too, like you say, even with financial transformations. Sometimes when we're spending and we're not really looking at what we have, and we're not looking at needs versus wants, sometimes our bank account can transform into a negative. So like you say, really being mindful. And so I often say with transforming, you got your mental, spiritual, emotional, physical, like you say, financial, social, because just like I was saying a while ago, sometimes even with our surroundings and settings, or our peers, sisterhood, brotherhood, are they transforming us in a positive way, like influencing us in a positive way, or are they holding us down and keeping us back? Because sometimes when people begin to notice you transforming in a certain way, you're changing for the positive. See, change can scare people, even if it's good change sometimes. Because then, like even with our friendships and things like that, sometimes people wonder, where will I fit in the equation if this person transforms so much to a point where I feel like I can't really relate to them anymore.
Yeah.
So, we have to also be mindful of that too. Are people really cheering for us and with us, and we're cheering for them and with them? Or are we comfortable and are people comfortable with us just settling? So transforming is definitely a mindset. It's an attitude. I've talked about winners before and having that winner mentality. And I love how you said too, like even with physical transformations, we can do that. We can change our hair. Sometimes, we may gain a little weight if that's what we want to do, or we lose a little bit of weight. But like you said, it all takes time. It takes consistency.
Mm-hmm.
It takes being aware of that.
Aware,
Like
conscious,
if I know that I'm trying to lose some weight, if I know that I'm trying to do this, but like you say, I am steady eating different things that I know are packing on the pounds, but then I'm not doing what I need to do physically, staying physically active, then I'm really making that positive transformation that I want and maybe even need because of some health concerns. I'm really making that challenging because I'm not really being fully aware of what my choices are that could be contributing to me further going down the spiral rather than coming up like I need to be. So a lot to think about with this transforming. Like you say, there can be a positive aspect of it, there can be a negative aspect of it if we are not aware, if we're not conscious of what we're doing.
Definitely should not rush the transformation because it can definitely blow up in your face like a science project that you're manifesting. People that know me and know me well, they know I speak a lot of things into existence, but you don't even know how long I've been thinking about it before I open my mouth on it. Because by the time I tell you what it is that I'm finna do, I'm already in the process of doing it, and I've already thought about it. So I said that to say this: when you get to making up certain decisions or whatever on the spur of the moment, or because something may have happened to somebody else, but even if you say like, man, I'm not drinking no more, and you got 10, 15 friends that you drink with on a consistent basis, like my sister said, yeah, it may be a separation that you may have to do, but then again, even with taking baby steps and not judging yourself, even if it starts off small, just a talk killed up, little drink killed up. You done went from drinking 4 beers a day, now you done made it down to 1 beer over the time. And people are watching you. They're seeing like, oh, but you ain't drinking like you used to drink no more. I'm just slowing down a little bit. Humble, humility. Because no matter, even if you feel like you're doing the right thing for God, you know what I'm saying, pride or being overconfident can come off as being arrogant and come off as being egotistical. So then there goes a whole nother problem. Now you mad at your wife and your homeboy, you ready to fight. So you know what I'm saying, you temper mad. Like, man, they don't believe in me, they don't think I'm going to do this, they don't think I'm going to do that. And then you're showing them that you haven't fully changed because of your temper, because you're so quick to be angry. Your transformation can take anywhere from a week, 28 days. I did a lot of studying and researching on, I love manifestation. It can take 28 days to break a habit, and a lot of times it takes about 28 days to build a consistent habit.
So, I believe that we both have shared and we have highlighted the importance of awareness. I'm always going to speak of awareness. Patience is very, very important because, like we say, it can take time and it's different for different people. We can start, like he was saying, about building the habit. Like even with working out. Okay, you get through those first initial days, weeks of soreness, and, finally get to the point now where you're like, yes, I'm going to work out. And then sometimes, guess what? We might backslide sometimes. Things happen. Our schedules may change up. So now we're out of the workout routine that we were in. And so be patient with yourself. Don't set unrealistic expectations. I'm going to say this. I believe in high expectations. I really do. But sometimes we do unrealistic. So if I'm planning on losing 30 pounds in a healthy way in 1 week, to me that's very unrealistic. I might lose it, like you said, if I use different pills and other type of things, don't eat or whatever, stuff like that. But look at what other health concerns will come about behind that. So slow and steady, and like I say, a word that we have really been sharing a lot that came to me last year was pace. The importance of pacing. And so I think that's what we're trying to encourage everyone today with transforming, is that it takes time, but you can do it. Even if people around you may not understand, because a lot of times you don't understand yourself when the transforming process is taking place. It can be scary. Like I say, even change that is positive change, and we know it is. It could be a job position. Wow, my salary is going to go up a little bit more. I have some more responsibilities, get to meet new people. But guess what? That's a transformation process. And so even though we may be excited, we see the benefits we're also, we don't know how things are going to work out. Am I really going to be equipped enough to handle this new position? You know, what if within a certain time frame I haven't gained a certain level of mastery? So patience and recognizing that all things are possible through Christ. And then he blesses us with people in our lives that have various roles, various skills, strengths, gifts, and talents that can assist us in the transforming process. So, you know, we just want to encourage, we just want to inspire. Like I said, to me, it's a continuous, and I know with certain things, yeah, you're going to achieve, but some things you're constantly transforming with, constantly. I'm still learning a lot about myself. I'm sure you are as well. Different things are revealed to me all the time. Sometimes I'm like, you know what, you had more patience than you thought you did. And there in the other areas, I'm like, still got to work on that. Still got to work on that, because your watch tells you to breathe every time this or that happens. So like I say, it's a process. It's a process, and pacing, setting realistic goals that can be high, because we definitely want to be striving for something. We don't want something just so, well, we don't even really have to put any work or effort into it, you know, because then we're shortchanging ourselves. We're shortchanging God, because he has those big God-ordained dreams, goals, and visions for us. But like I say, let's not set ourselves up, and let's not be hindrances to others that we see growing. If anything, I might question, well, what have you been doing lately? I noticed, you know, you've been real level-headed lately, you know, and I'm trying to learn so I can get on a certain level as well. So transform me.
Yeah, and I mean, throughout life, you're gonna go through a lot of transformation steps and processes. You know, sometimes you'll find yourself somewhere and you'll be like, how did I even get here? This not even me. You know, definitely, man, I was raised and brought up in a well-rounded family, well-balanced family, in the church. You know what I'm saying? Very much so. But as I began to transform in life, I started running to this person, that person. I began to pick up a microphone and start rapping. I done sold this, that, and the third, and did this, that, and the third throughout my years of transforming. Boom, 2012, I transformed. I snapped one day and became Apostle Elwood. All in one day. You know, picked up the Bible, man. I was on my journey. It had a lot of people kind of scratching their head and questioning, like, man, what's going on with this guy, this dude here tripping. It was Facebook posts. I can't even go back because they banned my other Facebook pages. I mean, it was posts. I was talking about the rappers. I was talking about the Illuminati. I was talking about people selling their souls. I was transformed. I was filled with the fire of the Holy Spirit, which I still am. But as I began to transform and begin to blend in and begin to become who I am, it all started making sense. And it all started being on the basis where, like I said, man, I cannot judge my fellow brother and sister because they have not been, some of them have not been raised where I've been raised. Some of them have not went through what I went through. Some of them are not trying to get to where I'm trying to get to. And that goes to another level. You transform. First, you're born a baby. You're an infant. You can't do anything. You learn how to walk. You learn how to talk. I basically feel, in my opinion, and through the studies that I've done, I feel like we're continually transforming and transcending into Christ-like, God-like beings to get to heaven. Now, if you want to be on the lower frequency, you don't believe that you're trying to get to heaven, then you're transforming, because it's two different ways you can transform. But I pray that you are transforming to become the best human being that you possibly can, because there's plenty of people I have seen in my life that is not their fault in a lot of times, in a lot of cases, but due to certain situations and circumstances in the world, they are constantly transforming, and day by day they are going into a darker and darker place. So I pray, man, I pray everybody's viewing this, everybody has the opportunity to view this whenever you may view this, whatever time part of your day, whatever time part of your life. I hope that you are on that transformation journey and you are looking to receive confirmation that you are doing right and you are going the right way, because you will experience resistance. It will be pressure that will be pushing you back. But if you continue to go forward and push through it all, I guarantee you that you will find the happiness. You will transform into that happy place. You will transform into a peaceful place. You will transform into a joyful place. And then, like you said about finances, you will, hallelujah, transform into a more prosperous space and place in your life.
So true. So very true. Transforming. People have a way of assisting us with transforming. Like you say, when we're not judgmental and we're able to recognize, you know what, I have not always had as clear of a head as I have now. When we encounter others that we see that are really struggling and suffering with something, then we're able to allow our light, we're able to allow our experiences to come through to assist others as well, to let them know that you're not alone. No, I may not have experienced exactly what you are experiencing now or what you have experienced, but I can tell you that there is still hope. That's another thing that the pastor spoke on today that I really, really admire. There's nothing that you have done that when you say, Lord, I surrender to you, Lord, I have a made up mind. Your past, what others may try to bring up about you, even when your thoughts, when the enemy trying to infiltrate your mind and trying to get you transformed back that way, where they looking at you crazy, they talking about you crazy, they're like, who she thinks she is? Because you were saying about 2012 with you an apostle. Last year, when the Lord really just led me to start getting on a platform, you know, people had their different things. I won't say anybody really just came at me and what I would say was a negative or sideways approach, but a lot of people didn't understand.
Yeah.
You know, and I really didn't understand. It wasn't like I planned and said, you know, you just gonna start doing this. So even with that, like you say, it's important to like stay the course with him, to pace yourself, not to expect too much, because you know sometimes people may not say anything to you, but that may be because they looking like, what can I say? Should I even say anything? You know, they're trying to figure out what's going on. They're trying to figure out, is this a lasting change or is this just something that's happening right now? Because
they don't want to curse around you, don't want to dance around you, don't want to.
Yeah, I've had some people that are like, well, I don't even know. I'm like, no, like I am Sylvia.
Yeah.
I mean, and so with that being said, I've always had an open mind, an open heart to support and encourage others. And so even with this journey, it's not just about me transforming, but helping others along the way too, because there have been so many people that have really invested. So many people have already invested time and energy into me. And so with that being said, I recognize that it's time for me to do that same thing, because you know, we've all been in a place before where maybe we just felt like, you know what, I'm just too far gone. I just have made one bad mistake after another. And you just get to that point where you almost just ready to just really throw in the towel, because you're like, I'm done. Everything I touch, it seems like it just doesn't work out. Every effort that I try to make, it seems like it doesn't work out. But we begin to learn as our minds are transforming and we're growing and we're transcending, that you know what? I have the power and capability, because I get all that through him. The word provides me with what I need to be able to get through any and every situation that comes about. And part of growth is going through obstacles, thinking outside the box, finding a new way. If this way not working, then guess what? It's time for another way of doing this. You know, if I want different results, and they always say that about insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result.
That road don't work and that road don't work, but we gonna create a road. We gonna make an avenue to get to where we gotta get to.
And so we just want to encourage somebody somewhere today. Like my brother said, we don't know when you're gonna watch this, if it's gonna be this year, if it's gonna be some years down the line, or whatever. But you can transform in a positive way. And if by chance, because it happens, It happens if by chance you begin to find yourself transforming and going back to the very things that have hurt you before, the various things that have kept you from living out your full potential through Him. Recognize that you can take today. You can take today to resolve. I'm going to start my transformation process. And no matter what happens, I'm going to keep my faith, my trust, and my hope in Him. You can start today. It doesn't matter, what others think, what others say. It's all about pleasing Him. It's all about letting Him know that, you know what, Lord, I have a made up mind. That has really been sticking with me since the day with that word.
Definitely.
A made up mind. Because when we have a made up mind, nothing going to stop us.
Your mind made up. Hey.
If I say I want to lose 50 pounds and I want a made up mind.
You got it made up.
I'm going to do what I got to do. Drinking plenty of water. Working out, protein shakes. Doing that scale check-in here and there to make sure I'm where I need to be. Make sure I'm not cheating too much. You know how you have a cheat day sometimes. You can eat different things you want. We have a made-up mind. A made-up mind. Obtaining degrees. When we have a made-up mind, getting a certain job, we don't let anything stop us. Yeah, we don't let anything stop us. So I want you to be encouraged on
getting
today.
out of an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Your mind made up now.
Yeah.
A lot of times people don't be tired enough.
Right.
When you get tired, you gonna know you tired.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Man, when you done drugged one night and you wake up the next morning and you're tired, you know you're tired, man. When you've been running in the streets or wherever it is that you running in, when you tired, you gonna know you tired. And you gonna make up your mind. There ain't gonna be nothing nobody can tell you. They can try to bring you down, try to take you back. Oh, boy, you ain't gonna quit that. Boy, you know you ain't gonna. Man, my mind is made up. I'm gone. Every single person I've ever seen in my life that have made up their mind. And that's from people that y'all may not think is famous, or y'all, and that's from famous people that I done read in their books. They made up their mind. When every other child was out playing, they was holding the basketball, sleeping with the basketball. Might ain't had the basketball goal. They got to walk 2 miles to the basketball goal. They made up their mind. And then watch what they have went to. But the people that can't make it up, man, you going this place, you going that place. You complain about your job every day, but you're going. But you're not making up your mind that you need to find something else or whatever the case may be. Man, you'll find a lot of, if you're looking for misery, don't make up your mind, man, and don't stand on what your principles are. But if you want to try to get somewhere, and it's going to be resistance, it's going to be pressure. It's going to take some, like I said one other time, when you working out, that's why they got certain resistant tools. When you working out, you're going to feel resistance. You're going to feel pain because your muscle got to break down for it to rebuild. So you're going to feel a little pain, man. Don't let that stop you, man. You're going to have haters, man. Don't let that stop you, man. Let everything motivate you, and then, man, pull deep down within inside yourself and transform. How we used to say way back, they used to say go in beast mode. I ain't going to tell you go in beast mode, go in God mode.
Yes.
Go in God mode.
Go in
you know what I'm
God
talking
mode.
about? And then, man, I guarantee you, man, whatever it is, you can have a loss of breath. And you reach your hand, look to the hills, you gonna find it out somewhere, and you gonna go and finish that race off. You gonna go and finish that day of work off. You gonna go and finish that workout off, and you gonna go on and finish that nasty rice cake or whatever it is you're eating to try to lose your weight. And y'all already know it.
And y'all already know we're not come with anything but positive vibes, love, joy, increasing faith, a sense of hope, a sense of hope. Transcending together forever. Butterfly Nation.
You got to transform
And peace.